Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this video is to help you make a 1-inch grid on your paper. This is the size grid that we need for our next grid drawing, and just a couple of things to help you. Remember that it said in your notes that whenever you draw your lines, draw your grid lines light. I'm gonna do it in marker so that you can see on camera, but you need to do it in pencil as light as you can. Also, it says, when drawing a grid, make 2 reference marks for each line. Do this so your lines are straight and parallel. So what that means is we're gonna have 2 sets of marks. And when I say somewhere near the top, I just mean like somewhere up in this vicinity, somewhere near the bottom, somewhere here. So you're gonna do these marks, like these little reference marks, just so you know where to line up your ruler. And those will be one near the top and another set near the bottom. And that's what it means. 2 reference marks for each line, so your lines are straight and parallel, okay? So here it is. Paper. Well, let me show you. This is what it's gonna look like once you're done. This is what we're looking for. A 1-inch grid. You're gonna have 12 squares going across this way, 9 squares going across this way. So that's what we're looking for as a finish, as a final product. So with the paper in front of me and the landscape orientation, I'm gonna take my ruler, looking for the 0 and the 1. Here's the 1. Somewhere near the top, I'm gonna line up the 0 with the edge of the paper. And I'm gonna give myself a reference mark at each edge, at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like I said, it's like a little mark or a little dot. Even some people like to do dots just so you can see where you're lining up your ruler. Once you have the marks at the top, slide your ruler down. Somewhere near the bottom, do the same exact thing. Line up the 0 with the edge of the paper and mark every inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Once you have those 2 sets of marks, you can take your ruler and line those up. Make sure that you're on the marks you made and draw your lines. Remember that you guys are drawing this in pencil. You know, in order to do this correctly, make sure you're holding your ruler wide, hold it down firmly and lightly. Like if I was to draw this in pencil, it would look something like this, right? My lines. And then I would hold it like towards the end by the eraser and just very lightly pull the pencil towards me to give me a really light line. So remember to do that when you're doing yours, okay? So with this video, you kind of saw the first step for the first set of lines. You can go ahead and fast forward if you want till we get to the second step. Excuse me. So now that I have my first set of lines, now I'm going to flip my paper into the portrait orientation. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see the entire paper. All right, so here's my paper. Now we're gonna do the same exact thing. We're gonna mark it twice and draw our lines. So somewhere near the top, looking for the 0 and the 1. 0 at the edge of the paper, and I'm gonna mark every inch with a small reference mark. Remember, this reference mark is just to show you where you're gonna line up your ruler. Once I have my marks at the top, I can slide my ruler to the bottom. Somewhere near the bottom, do the exact same thing. 0 on the edge of the paper and mark every inch. Once I have those 2 reference marks, I can take my ruler, hold it nice and wide, firmly and make those lines. Make sure that you're on both of your reference marks, because if you make the marks correctly, but you're not following them, your grid is not gonna come out how it should. So make sure you're on both of your marks. I can tell you that one of the biggest problems I see when people make these grids, a lot of people don't make 2 sets of marks. They only make 1 set and then they try to guess on the other side. And if you do that, your lines are not gonna be straight and parallel. So 2 sets of reference marks, and that will tell you exactly where to line up your ruler so your lines are straight and parallel. And this is what we get. Now, the last thing we do, we'll go ahead and label this so it matches your reference picture. So what we're gonna do is this very first square at the top, we're gonna X out. And then we're gonna have numbers across the top, letters on the side. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And down the side, letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. So make your paper look like this. If you're having trouble, you know, there are 2 sides to this paper. So if you're having trouble on one side, flip it over and try it again. Look around you. Look around your table, see who's getting this. And you guys help each other out, because we all need to have this in order to be successful on this level 1 grid drawing, okay?